Welcome back to another video. In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at Litecoin here. Litecoin does seem to be in the middle of an ascending triangle here on the daily chart with resistance right around $40. If Litecoin breaks that, what can we expect? And as well, I do want to look at Bitcoin because Bitcoin is making a move up still and actually currently testing resistance, all-time high of the year so far, right around that 9350, 9400 US dollar range. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, all that good stuff, and we can just jump right into it. So I want to start off with Litecoin here on the weekly, and that's just really to get a better picture of this uptrend that we still seem to be following very closely. That I have that in this blue parallel channel right here. If we zoom into the daily though, you can really get a better picture of Litecoin's past few months. And if we zoom in here, you can see really for the past week and a half since June 10th, basically we've been in seemingly an ascending triangle. You can see that right here. With a top being right around 140. We touched that 3 times, broke through it very slightly by about breaking it by $5, but quickly pulling back. You can see the daily candle right there. It's mostly a wick. There's barely even a candle. You can see the candle close right in the middle there, kind of showing indecision. But yeah, top still being right around 140. We touched again on the 15th and then the 19th, so just yesterday. And you can see these lows so far have been getting higher, 14th and the 18th. And just to kind of give you perspective of where we are right now, going back to April 2nd, which is where it all started, that 63% move all the way up, and then pulling back and finding a lot of support right around the $84 and having another 63 roughly percent move over the next following weeks to get us to where we are now, kind of just trading in this pattern here. Now with the halving coming up and similarities of the last time, the only other time that Litecoin had a halving, people would think if it's going to be identical to that we're going to run out of steam soon, hit a top, and then kind of barrel downwards like the last one. That's if we would follow the previous halving, and I've said in previous videos, I don't necessarily think we're just going to have an exact repeat. I do think similar things might happen, like a pullback after the halving, maybe even a pullback going into the halving, because during the last one, the entire month prior to the halving, Litecoin had already topped and was going down, going into the halving, and then continued after the halving. But again, with the environment just being so much different, in my opinion now, that was 4 years ago, with the environment being so much different, with so much more exuberance in the market, with so much more excitement, again, I just don't necessarily think it would repeat exactly. I think if anything, an exact repeat of the last halving would be the least likely scenario, just because the market, again, is so much different. In particular, what I want to draw your attention to here, even on the weekly, is that from the last time we were in a bear market, exiting the bear market, going into a bull market, it doesn't even look similar to this entering of the bull market, exiting of the bear market, similar to the last one. You can see this was after the halving, the Bitcoin halving, and then continued uptrend. Here we are in between 2 halvings right now, so we're not even really affected by a Bitcoin halving at this point. We're trading, this is one of the halvings, the second one, and this is the upcoming one next year, in about 11 months from now. You can see this trend, I mean, really, these are somewhat identical. They have similarities, but again, they're also very different in a lot of ways. You can see here is much, much, much different than what the last one was, and the timing as well around the halving. So I just think the environment is so much different right now. I do want to spend a little more time on Litecoin, and then I want to talk about Bitcoin and some other stuff as well. So with Litecoin potentially making a move here soon, which I think is what's going to happen exactly, up or down, I think is, again, up for debate. I think it's really clear though that we're probably going to have some type of move soon. Usually when you see descending volume and you see a pattern like this and reduced volatility for a short amount of time, which we have seen, it's been a little less volatile the last few days. I don't make videos every single day because if I feel like I don't have anything that I find interesting to say, or if I don't have something I think might be valuable to you guys, I won't put out a video. I'm not going to force myself to put something out if I don't have anything I think is interesting or valuable to you guys. Not saying there's anything wrong with putting a video out every day, but again, if I don't think there's anything on my mind that I really want to get out, or if there's something I want to talk about, then I won't make a video. And so the last 2 days I haven't really posted, and that again is mostly because I didn't really have anything to make a video on. However, now I do, and I find this exciting, and that's why I'm making this video, because I do think that there is a move coming now. With that being said, if Litecoin makes a move, would that impact the rest of the market, or vice versa? If Bitcoin makes a move, would that, force the rest of the market too? I think Bitcoin is actually kind of on its way to already making its next move. If we want to switch to the daily for that, you can see, I think Bitcoin is onto something here. I think Bitcoin's getting a lot of momentum ready. to be expelled here. In this situation, usually I think the trend is your friend, as they would say, right? So we've had breakout after breakout, and in these types of scenarios, say in ascending triangle, you would tend to lean on the side of the breakout being positive as opposed to a negative breakdown or a loss. So when the trend is kind of intact, we see that trend kind of repeat and repeat, and that's a bull market. And again, if we are in a bull market, which I believe we are at this point, I think it's safe to say we're in a bull market at this point, then it's easy to suspect potentially that we see this move go up. And now I've had this box here drawn for quite a bit of time. If you go back my previous maybe like 10 videos, I think. So this is kind of the area I think for Litecoin's next breakout, right in between the 170 to about 190. So it is a pretty wide region, right? I don't do these videos to really try and tell you exactly what the price is going to hit. It's more for discussion and promoting interest, but I also do like taking a look at these charts and showing these to you and giving my ideas and my thoughts as well. So I find that really fun, and I think it's valuable for you guys. So that being said, that would be about another 20 to 35% increase for Litecoin to be in this area. And would that be the final move before the halving for Litecoin? Meaning, is that Litecoin's peak before dying off like it did in the previous halving? I would venture a guess and say, because of the momentum of the market right now, because of how exciting Bitcoin is in the entire space, and that's independent of Litecoin, I would think that there would still be momentum. The last halving, there was nobody anticipating anything about the halving in particular because there was no previous Litecoin halving to go off of. So people weren't looking at the previous Litecoin halving saying things like, oh, well, this is what it did last time. It'll have a correction a month before the halving. People weren't doing that because that hadn't happened. But now everybody's comparing the previous halving to this halving. So again, that in itself is another reason why I think that will not happen this time. I think what will happen this time will be completely different. I don't think it'll mimic it at all. So let's say we did break up here to the 170, 190 area, and here's the halving, still about a month and a half, 2 months away. Litecoin could still have more juice to go even higher than that, 200. I would even say much higher than that. So before halving, I don't want to throw up random numbers, but I definitely think 200 plus is a possibility. And I think we'll see soon, because in these types of situations, we'll usually see a breakout somewhat soon in terms of how tight this is getting. It won't stay tight based on what I've learned it won't just stay in this region for the next 2 weeks. I just don't even think that would be realistic at all. So I definitely am curious to know what you guys think. I know many of you in the comments 100% believe Litecoin could be easily $300 this year, let alone before the halving. I know many of you think at least 200 before the halving within the next 2 months. And the way this channel is shaping up and the way the momentum of the market is going, I tend to definitely agree with that. And I tend to maybe even want to shift my guesses or my predictions or my analysis or whatever you want to call it to being more bullish. My expectations, I think, is the best word for it. I tend to shift my expectations to being even more bullish than they are. But yeah, this is an exciting time, so I just wanted to point your attention to that and just kind of give you a bigger picture of Litecoin and what I think is going on here. Again, the halving, just huge news. I've been making Litecoin videos for almost 2 years. This is one of the biggest things for Litecoin. Plus, potentially maybe there's upcoming news for Litecoin. I'm sure many of you have heard about on Twitter and everything, so that's pretty exciting. Now I want to jump to Bitcoin though for a little bit. And here is what we see with Bitcoin. Still climbing here, 93, 9400. I actually wanted to pull up Magic Cannon's take. He posted this 2 hours ago, and I just wanted to read a little excerpt here. And this is basically his chart from a few days ago as well. This is something he's shown, but he's still expecting a move to the 1300. He's still expecting a move to 13,500 right around here. So again, he has all of his analysis here. If you want to check it out, feel free. I'm not going to read this or really go too in depth. But he basically does say there are some barriers in the way, the biggest one being right around the $99,000 or $10,000 region for Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin break that, 1,300 would very easily be in play within the next really few weeks. Now, if something bullish like that did happen with Bitcoin, right? Let's say by July 12th, which is only a few weeks away, that Bitcoin touched on 1,300. Where do you think Litecoin would go? So what we can do here is just, this is really simple. We could take this up to about 1,300. Let's do 1,300 or 13,500. I keep saying 1,300. I mean 13,000. My apologies. 44%. So let's say that Litecoin, with all the momentum behind it right now and the halving coming up, let's say I think I said about 44%. Yeah, let's say that Litecoin, what would a 44% move look like for Litecoin from its current position? That would put us right about $200 exactly. So does that seem possible to you guys? I think those numbers would be beautiful within the next 3 weeks there. Have a $1,300 Bitcoin, $13,000 Bitcoin. I don't know why I keep saying that. A $13,000 Bitcoin, $200 Litecoin. That actually does even seem a little low for Litecoin. If Bitcoin would go all the way to 13,000, I think Litecoin would actually go up a decent amount more than that, just percentage-wise. I think, obviously this is a really special time for Litecoin, and I think that some news spurred price action might also be in play there. But as for now, we're kind of just trading even. It's very indecisive right now. It's kind of like the calm before the storm. Let me know what you guys think. If you're new to the channel, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I will see you in the next video.